Yeah, so this is not clickbait. I am actually losing hearing in both of my ears. Swear to God, I'm actually going to show you on paper. Just a little background of who I am. I'm Sam, aka Sam610. I make unboxings. I like doing tech review. I like doing vlogs here and there. And most important, I like to do YouTube growth strategies, not only to help myself, but to help you as a creator also. No cap. So if this is the type of thing that you like, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. So now back to my hearing loss in both of my ears. Give you a little bit of history of what was going on and how I think this may have happened, but I'm not 100% sure. So for years, I have been battling with high blood pressure. At least I thought I was. But the first doctor I had went to had mentioned that, I may or may not have high blood pressure. So I went through a whole bunch of blood tests. The blood test came back fine. No evidence of me showing any kind of blood pressure issues. But every time they decided to test me at the office, I always came up as having high blood pressure. When I was at home, I'd explain I always had high blood pressure when I tested it at home many times. So my first doctor had sent me home and had said, let's monitor your blood pressure, take some logs, every week, and I'll contact you and let you know whether I think it's necessary for you to be put on any kind of medication. I'm like, okay, great. So I logged it, went in for a follow-up visit. She goes, I don't think you're consistent enough. Now, my pressure was between 130 and 150, depending on when I took it. But 140 seemed to be consistent for me for some reason. I don't know why. Like 140, 145. Still was not deemed to be bad enough to go on blood pressure medications, right? So with that, what I felt is having high blood pressure. My ears would turn red, my face would turn red at certain times, and I would take my blood pressure at that time, my blood pressure would be high. So with that, I developed ringing in my ears, non-stop ringing in my ears, mostly when I'm sitting down or laying down, and at times for 20 to 30 seconds in each ear. It can happen at any time. It can happen one day a week. It could happen a couple of days a week. Now it's happening multiple times. I'll have a ringing in left or right ear at certain times. But the high pitch, well, I shouldn't say high pitch, low pitch buzzing sound is constant, nonstop, 24/7. Whether I'm sitting, whether I'm laying down, or whether I'm walking. Of course, when I'm outside, I don't notice it, as much because of all the white noise, if you will. But like right now I hear it and it's pretty silent in my house. I work from home and everybody's at school, everybody's at work, so I'm not hearing it as much when everybody's home. So with that being said, I thought something was quite wrong, so I went ahead and I had switched doctors, and that was June of 2024, June of this year. I decided, let's change doctors, get a second opinion, let's monitor it, and figure out what's going on. Do I have high blood pressure? Do I not? Do I need to be put on medication? Do I not need to be put on medication? So ran some, blood work. Again, blood work came back fine. Nothing wrong with the blood work. I did, with the new doctor, I did with the, my old doctor, logged my blood pressure, and went for follow-up visits many times, and she decided to start me on blood pressure medication when my pressure was between 140s, mid 150s, which is considered high. I think for me, for my age, my height, I think 115, 120 is probably the, most likely the blood pressure you should be having, for my height, my size, my weight, so forth. So I started on 5 milligrams of medication. I've been doing that since July every single day. And I was hoping since June, since I've been put on the medication in June, that the ringing in my ears was the actual cause from the high blood pressure. Ran different kinds of tests, testing the nerves, in my ears to see if I can hear things. I used some kind of probe tool to see if I had any hearing damage. And I was still certain at that time that the ringing in my ears was from my high blood pressure from all of these years. And it turns out it's not true. The ringing stopped for about a week when I first started taking the blood pressure medication in June, and then the ringing came back a week later. So I decided, my doctor decided, and I decided, let's go get a hearing test. Let's see an ENT specialist and figure out what is going on. Why do I have this ringing in my ears? What's causing it? Is it the blood pressure medication, or is it a total separate issue? My doctor said, don't be surprised if your hearing test comes back negative, and then I want to do an MRI or a CAT scan just to see what else could be going on. So, at this point I'm panicking, and as of last week, I had the hearing test, and I want to, share that with you, whether you're, new to the community or whether you're existing community, just because I want to share this. I'm not doing it, I'm just doing it to give you an update, and that's the exact reason why I'm doing it, because at the end of the video I'm going to tell you why I made this video and why I thought it was important to share my information with you, my private information. Alright, so here is the test. You can see it's like a Nike check. The doctor had said, he had mentioned that this is textbook for hearing loss, right? So I'm losing hearing in my left and my right ear at 6,000 hertz. So at 6,000 hertz, I couldn't hear anything in either ear. And I think it's severe. I think it might be severe. I really don't know. He said, come back in a year or two. He goes, I don't think you need hearing aids at this point. So we're not going to worry about any type of hearing aids. Come back in 1 to 2 years and we'll test your hearing in 1 or 2 years from now to see if anything has changed, before 6,000 hertz, So it's a lot to take in, that you could be possibly losing your hearing completely, that I could be possibly be going deaf, right? I mean, I can hear people in front of me. The hearing test came back, perfect when she recited words to me and I recited them back, and that was fine. But with the 6,000 hertz sounds, I could not hear them. And that could be because of the buzzing in my ears and the ringing in my ears because of that high frequency hearing loss. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, why I actually made this video is because if you have something going on, and you feel it's one thing and it could be something else, don't wait. Not only do I want to help you grow your channel, not only do I want to help you, experience unboxings and tech reviews and stuff like that on this channel, I also want to make sure you make sure your health is in check and that, you get yourself checked out if there's a problem. I thought it was one thing and I was wrong. It was something totally different. Now, what could be a factor of, of this hearing loss, if you will? It could be many different things. He had mentioned, do you operate machinery with no hearing protection? Do you run the lawnmower, the chainsaw, go to loud concerts? Do you shoot guns and not have hearing protection on? Now, when I shoot firearms, yes, I do have hearing protection on. I do wear hearing protection when I'm using firearms because it's so close to me. However, lawnmowers, I do not. I actually switched to a battery operated one, so it's not as loud as my gas one. But when I would shut my gas one off, after I would use it, my hearing would be like, whoo, 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 whoo. I get this weird feeling in my ears, Maybe I should have been wearing hearing protection at that time, but I wasn't. When I operate a chainsaw, I do not wear hearing protection, but I will start wearing them now. Like I said, when I shoot firearms, I always wear them. So I'm going to be, start using these safety measures for my own good. Now, When I was in my 20s, I was into the loud stereos. I was into the loud bass. I had subwoofers in the trunk of my car, you know. Thought I was really cool driving around with a loud radio. Man, was that a mistake. I'll tell you that right now. Huge mistake. That could be a factor why I am partially losing my hearing now at 6,000 hertz. I don't know. I had 800 watts going to a subwoofer, 400 watts in each speaker for a couple of years, just boom, 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 boom behind me. Everybody warned me. My parents warned me. Of course, my friends didn't because they were doing the same thing, you know. So I was being warned by everybody. Hey, one day you could be losing your hearing. You know what? That may be part of the reason why. It may not be. I don't know. And, you know, the ENT specialists, they don't know either, you know. And they said, unfortunately, Sam, I'm sorry, but there's no way to get rid of the buzzing or the ringing in your ears. So that's something I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life unless, you know, I go through the CAT scan, the MRIs, and they find something else triggering it, and maybe something else could fix it. But, you know, the fact of the matter is, if you feel like something's going wrong health-wise, do yourself a favor, do me a favor, go get checked out. It's no joke. You know, don't put your health issues off. You know, and this is just an awareness video. You know, I want to make sure that you fully understand that, you know, if something's going wrong health-wise with yourself, make sure you get it checked out. You know, it's no joke. And I think every day, could I have done something different to prevent this? You know, or is it just old age? You know, he did mention that old age does play a factor into hearing loss. I mean, I'm 45 years old, you know. You know, it makes you really think, you know. From what I read, people in their 60s start having issues, but you can have hearing issues as early as 40 years old, you know, and it sucks. You know, I'm not gonna lie, it really does suck. So this is where I'm gonna leave this video. I just wanted to share this with you, this piece of information. I will give you an update if I find out anything more, you know, in regards to my hearing loss. You know, I just wanted to share this with you and make you aware that you should be aware if anything's happening. And also, you know, don't be dumb like me. Protect your ears. You know, wear hearing protection if you're cutting a lawn, running a chainsaw, if you're shooting firearms. Wear it. You know, preserve your hearing as much as you can. You know, it's just a safety precaution. It might look silly, but who cares? Or even wear headphones. You know, wear the earbuds, wear the AirPods, Apple, you know, AirPods or whatever. Just wear something to protect your ears. All right, well, this is where I'm going to leave this video. Please hit that thumbs up button. As always, you know what to do. Later.